Hi everyone, welcome. Today you're going to go through a video series for a theater professional, and we will be tackling two very taboo and important subjects, money and taxes. So in this first video, we're going to tackle money and what that looks like for artists. Now, most artists leave the field, don't necessarily leave it by choice. They're going to leave because they can't seem to figure out that time and money equation. And along with all of the other challenges that come with being an artist, the two things that have artists fleeing the industry are time and money. Now, the positive way of saying all of this, to reframe it, is to say that if you can manage your time and money, you can make this career work for you forever. So, having a sustainable budget that pays for your life and your art, and crafting a balanced, integrated schedule, you can make this industry work. You have to have a small amount of attention on your financial situation and your schedule to bring about these huge changes for yourself. And I don't want you to feel like thinking about money and putting it at the center of your work should strip away any of your creativity and artistry. In fact, I want to have it to where you can take it out of the center and let it live to where it can be managed so that it's no longer a constant stressor in your life or your work. And we're going to do that by learning about a few small steps and how you transform your finances and the way that you frame the way that this work evolves for you. So, starting with a really sexy topic, we're going to talk about credit scores and credit reports. So, if you're interested in knowing what your credit score is, a lot of times your online banking avenues have those posted for you. If yours does not, please do not Google it, as several people will try and make you pay for it. But you can go to annualcreditreport.com, and it is free, and it will let you know what your credit score is. Now, a credit report is a living document, and it tells you about all of the credit that you have acquired. And it also, since it's a living document, shows that mistakes can be corrected, problems can be cleared up, and even positive steps can be taken to improve your credit score. And it will reflect all of that. Now, knowing your credit score is like having economic citizenship, because when we ignore our credit, we are giving up access to capital and incentives that reward investment, things that you may not even be considering right now, like home ownership. So a credit score is important because it's going to showcase to others whether or not you are a risk for any financial endeavors that you want. And a credit score is going to be composed of a variety of different things like payment history, the total debt and outstanding balances that you may have, an amount of credit being used, or what is known as your credit utilization, as well as your credit accounts or loans. So sometimes that's referred to as your credit mix. It also will take into account your length of your credit history, so how long you've been acquiring credit, as well as any new accounts that you open. Now, as an artist, there are a few things that we have as part of our lifestyle that can boost your credit score, or that can actually deduct points from it. So how do you boost this credit score? Well, you're going to pay your bills on time, first and foremost. That's how you can boost your credit score. And if you happen to have a past due bill, you're going to make those payments as quickly as possible. Also, credit card usage will boost your credit score. One of the best pieces of financial advice I've been given is that once you have some financial stability, if you have a credit card, use it for all of your expenses and then pay it off before it's due each month, and it's going to help boost that credit score. The other thing that you can do is limit your hard inquiries, and that's going to be applying for credit cards, loan or mortgages that you apply for. A new cell phone plan or an alteration to a cell phone plan is a hard inquiry. So is an apartment lease. So those of us that are artists that move around a lot, that can dock points from your credit score, as well as job applications where they're doing background checks and credit score checks, as those can also often dock your credit score. So make sure to limit those. Now, we want to take a quick little exploration into how to figure out your expenses, and this is everything from like yearly to monthly to weekly to even your hourly rate, etc. So the things that you want to examine are going to be what would compile into your weekly, monthly, and yearly expenses. So that's things like rent, utilities, car payment, car insurance, possibly health insurance, a cell phone plan, internet, cable or streaming, groceries, and the other necessities, subscriptions, transportation, supplies, loans or debts, and maybe some miscellaneous stuff in there as well. So just to give you an example, and these are some rough estimates of things, and all of this is dependent on where you are and what your situation is. For example, good luck finding a place to live for under $1,000 in LA. Like, that is a hard find unless you've got a billion roommates and a unique living space. Also, most people and most streaming services cost more than $10 a month, and some people don't have a car, so they don't require the car payment or car insurance. So this is just a flexible number, but it's just an estimate of showing you how to do this. With examining this, and this is all per individual, I want you to figure out one thing before we get into what those rates are. So you have to ask yourself, do you want a theater hobby or do you want a theater business? Now, if you earn money from a hobby, you must report it as income on your federal income tax return. But if your hobby turns into a business, that means it's eligible to take business deductions as well. And we're going to get into what all of that looks like for taxes. But the general rule of thumb is $400 to $600 or less earned is hobby. So that is hobby income if it's $600 or less. And that's important because of taxes and the way that we figure it out. But for you to be able to figure out your hourly, weekly rates, let's take a look at how we do this, because that's going to figure into your finances, into your taxes once we get into that as well. So if you take that annual income number and you do the following, you divide it by 1,500, and that's your hourly rate. If you notice, all of these say write it down. Have access to this so that you know what it is and that you can adjust it yearly if you need. You're going to multiply your hourly rate by 8 to get your day rate. You're going to multiply your day rate by 5 to get your week rate. Now, to determine your artist income, you can do this in a few different ways. I would actually suggest to set goals for how much you would like to earn with your artistry. Right now, you might not be earning a lot as an artist, and that is totally fine and can easily change in the next few years. So, especially if you are starting out in the industry, I would suggest to set a percentage goal for how much of your total income you'd like to earn from your art or creativity as a professional. So, let's say that your goal is to earn 10% in your first year. That's a great achievement. That's a good chunk of professional gigs. And then you can keep striving for different goals. So that may mean that you have a job that pays for your life and lifestyle, and then you have a certain percentage of your income that actually comes from the art and artistry. And eventually, if you would like for it to, you can work your way up to having your art be your full-time lifestyle, substantial means of income. Now, with that being said, we are going to take a pause, and up next, we will talk about how all of this works for taxes. So I hope you are taking good notes, and please take down any questions that you have so that we can make sure that all of this crazy financial stuff for artists makes sense for you and for what your needs are in the industry. See you for the next one.